Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Replay Mega Man Zero. In the last part we started off the game and now we're going to continue on with some missions! Yay! We want to destroy the enemy transport train in order to disrupt their supply. Based on the report from our scout unit, the enemy train's at the old platform loading cargo. The time to attack is now. Please help us destroy that train. Sure. The transport train's lying deep within an underground passage. Keep your guard up. Alright, and the mission begins. With energy crystals, yay! Now, we have to head right, but if we head left, the platform's in the opposite direction. You get an extra life for going this way. I actually really like that little detail. Now, the big thing with this stage is that we get a lot of small enemies. There's nothing really big here, yet. We got these general guys which we can take down in one shot, and those weird little guys that like to dash at you. Now, if you already have your weapons fully upgraded like I do, this mission is easy, but if you don't, it can be tricky. Especially when it comes to those little wires. Those wires will damage you to disappear. Language failure. I forget if it's the edge that only damages you, or if they damage you in entirety. By looks, it's entirety. But you can take them down just by doing some normal slashes. And also, dash jump up here and you can get access to this. I think it's a nurse, cyber elf, and some health. You're not supposed to know that's there until later, I believe, but I know it's there anyway. And here we got a little mini-boss, this guy. However, if you have the electric chip on with your charge slash fully upgraded, it's no big deal at all. However, stick around, because its corpse will drop a cyber elf. Or whatever you would call a metal corpse. Either way. Being held within the transport train is a cyber elf that was stolen from our base. If it's taken to their base, they'll abuse its power. Rescue it, please! The train seems to have left. Please rescue the abducted cyber elf. I'm counting on you, Zero. And now we have a time limit, 3 minutes to make it to where the boss fight is. We also get some really odd pantheons with some really big arms, which remind me of one scene from Family Guy I'm not going to mention. They can be taken down with an easy lightning elemental charge slash, then another slash after that. In fact, the time limit's not that big of a threat here. Although I should warn you, if you touch the ground in between the train tracks, or in between the train cars, it is instant death, so be careful with that. Ooh, cyber elf, sweet. And here we are at the boss. By the way, I should mention the checkpoint isn't here, it's at the beginning of the train section. You've reached the engine chamber. Be careful, Zero. And the boss is this Pantheon core thing. It likes to send a couple of fireballs at you. By the way, it's weak to electricity. And I think on the third or fourth one, it does a bigger fireball. And if you're at A rank onwards, it'll have another attack when it's moving forward like this. Generally, it'll just push you up towards those spikes. But I think when you're at A rank, it'll actually start doing fire when it's doing that. I think. It's been a while since I fought this thing when I wasn't at A rank, actually. But honestly, if you just abuse electricity, it's a really easy fight. In fact, the weakness is with the charge slash, and if you're using the element the enemy's weak against, it's kind of ridiculous. Thank you, Zero. The mission was a success because of you. I really appreciate your help. And let's grab that cyber elf. And Speedster. Sweet. Really did crappily on damage there, though. Actually, yeah, if I didn't get hit as much, that would have been a perfect, the freaking thing. Thanks to you, the abducted cyber elf has been saved, and the enemy supply route has been cut off. Thank you very much, Zero. We all owe this to you. The cyber elf you rescued is only a child, but she's a unique cyber elf that will learn an awesome ability when she grows up. Raise her with love and care. And she means that. She's the first cyber elf that actually has 3 stages. And she'll reduce your damage that you take. When I do my energy crystal farming towards the end, it's going to get annoying feeding her, but oh well. And now, one thing I'm going to show off is the unique thing about Mega Man 01 that the later games don't do. If you go all the way up the elevator shaft, we get into a familiar place. Recognize it? It's the disposal mission. Or the disposal facility mission. And if we head down here and dash to the right enough... Recognize this? We're at the beginning of the train mission. The final levels aside, all of the areas in the main 8 missions are accessible from the base. It's all one giant world, and I really like that detail. 02 and onwards would actually go with the classic Mega Man stage select system, which I like and dislike at the same time because it's more traditional, yes, but at the same time, This is really cool. Anyway, let's head on down to CL so we can choose our next mission. How you doing? She never moves from this room, by the way. And let's find the shuttle. Some of the abducted Reploids seem to have hijacked an enemy transport plane and have now escaped. But the plane disappeared over the desert. They might have crash-landed in the desert, so we sent our scouts to look for them. However, our scouts are having difficulties due to the hordes of hostile enemies in the area. I'm sorry, will you go and help the rescue? Sure. I love this song. The Megaman 01 soundtrack is very minimalistic. By the way, you'll hate a lot of these enemies later on. The aircraft that the Reploids are on has crash-landed somewhere in the desert. No! Hurry and help them. Out. Is that really necessary? Anyway, one thing I recommend you're doing while you're on the way to is actually fall into any of these sand pits. Because then you can destroy the motor that's doing that stuff. Because the way that this level's mission percentage is determined is something I'll get into later on. But let's just say it'll help out when you destroy all the little motors down there. Which I forget to do because there's actually one beneath me right now. Also, you'll hate those vultures. Though I do like the way the background looks. It actually reminds me a lot of this old Bionicle game I used to have on my Game Boy Advance. Ah, that takes me back. And here we got these tornadoes. The Buster's the way to go to destroy them, but weirdly enough, the wind deflects bullets. Don't get that, but okay. Also, here's a fun fact. I just played Shovel Knight for the first time, and it's only May 1st. Though I actually played it about a week ago, but still, considering how long ago that was released, that's pretty ridiculous for me. Considering it's very Mega Man-like, and, well, I absolutely love it. And Yooka-Laylee was just announced, which I'm looking forward to. Oh, who are you? My name is Anubis Necromancess III. I work for Fafnir, one of the four Guardians. I'm the King of Destruction and the ruler of the desert. The Reploids you are looking for are deep in the desert. If you wish to rescue them, you must defeat me first. On guard, old timer, coming from the Pharaoh! Anubis thing. Anyway, Anubis is actually really easily. He just likes to throw his staff around. By the way, as you just see there, he's completely immune to electric attacks, so go all non-elemental for this. And aside from that, the only other attacks I know for a fact he has is that occasionally he'll summon 2 or 3 zombie pantheons from the ground, which can hurt. And after you do 2 charge slashes, he'll do this little attack here, which is very easy to dodge, as you just noticed. So the basic pattern is charge slash once, charge slash twice, and then jump through these over and over again. Pretty easy and very manipulatable, however the hell you pronounce that, fight. Though notable, when he's reforming from the sand, he's completely immune to all attacks until after the glow finishes. By the way, I love this game's boss theme. I like 03 is better, but still a damn good one. And there he goes. You know, it's weird. The first ZX game would actually somewhat remix that explosion, just with a 3D effect. And we got a Cyber Elf. Hey, are you alright? I'm alright. You came to rescue me. Thank you very much. Can you walk? Yes. I'll help you get back to the base. Follow me. Thank goodness! There's a survivor! Thank you, Zero. I'll have a medic standing by. Will you take him to the entry point? And here's the other part about this mission. By the way, I'm fast-forwarding it because I can. This is where the big mission grade comes in. To get the 20 points on your mission success, you have to get him, make sure he doesn't get damaged at all. So it's essentially an escort mission. If he gets off-screen at all, you have to walk back and talk to him, essentially. It's pretty easy, and short, actually, but the vultures are annoying. The moment you hear their cry, just jump up and slash and hope they die. And the little sandworms are pretty dickish, too, because of the 3 bullets they spew can really be annoying. And they can also randomly spawn beneath the guy, too, which isn't fun. Thank goodness, I'm saved! Zero's brought back a survivor. Hurry, I'm taken to the medic. Ah, stock NPCs. Thank God.
I'm glad we could save him. Thank you, Zero.
And a Slayer. Yeah, that was a pretty good mission. Took a lot of damage, though. In fact, I'm very reckless in these games.
Another comrade has been saved thanks to you. According to his report, enemies are planning to conduct a large-scale attack on the Resistance base. If that happens, we'll need your help again. We appreciate your continued support, Zero.
Now, fun little fact is, any people you rescue during these missions will actually appear in the base, so that guy's actually now in the base somewhere. And now, if you're wondering why I'm saying this, because I hate the next mission. Retrieve data.
Do you remember the place in which we met? We had no choice but to escape them, but my research tells me that there remains some very important information for you.
There.
The enemies must be trying to obtain it before you do. Go and retrieve it before it's too late.
And I will accept that, of course, because it has to do with me.
We're picking up several energy readings from enemies. They must be looking for the remaining data, too. Be careful, Zero.
Make sure you have the lightning chip on the entire time, because enemies here are very easy to stun, and one in particular, which is actually completely invulnerable to everything but stunning. And that's these things. Stunning them will freeze them, making them easy to traverse past. Now, what was I going to say? If you haven't done level grinding before, level grinding, it's essentially what it is, weapon level grinding, before doing this mission, make sure you do it before doing it. Because, for reasons, it won't be as easy to do from here on out. Also, here's the thing. If you get a game over on a mission, and you decide to return to the base after you've lost all your lives, you pretty much failed the mission entirely, and you cannot do it anymore. So, say, I think the only one you can't do that with is the disposal center, actually. Say you failed the disposal center. This is pretty much just as an example for what would happen if you did that. If you fail the disposal center and lose all your lives and can't do it anymore, you cannot get the lightning chip. It's very possible to get through the game without clearing any of the 8 missions, actually. So, yeah, that sucks. But I suppose that's there for speedrun purposes. In fact, that might be how a speedrun of this is done. That's any percent at least. Anyway, yeah, that's a pretty simple area.
There's a massive energy reading ahead. Stay alert.
I hate this upcoming boss. Especially my original Let's Play, because I died to this guy a couple times. My name is Ganeshariff. I'm in charge of data processing and handling information. All the information you had has been stored in the server in my body. If you want it back, you'll have to destroy me and download it from my memory. Will you do it? I hate this guy. For one reason only. His attacks are pretty hard to read if you're not used to him. Like, this attack is pretty much impossible to dodge unless you know you can hit him to get him off that chain. He's, as far as I'm aware, weak to electricity, because that does give him a good stun. And I think you can only hit his head. He has this attack, which is fairly simple to dodge, and that punch attack, which just stay away from him far long enough and it'll end. He has his little sonic roll, which is pretty easy to dodge, though the mines can be decisively hard to dodge. Or decidedly, whatever the word is, hard to dodge. But once you get used to his attacks, he's not hard, but he can be annoying. Also, fun fact, if you destroy any bosses with a normal slash, you split them into pieces. I really like that detail. For years, I actually thought 03 was the first one to introduce that.
The self-destruct system has been activated, Zero. You have to evacuate now.
And she means that. Because now this place is falling down on top of you. And the purple areas, before you may have noticed in the first playthrough, yeah, they're now doors. So, dash as fast as you can. I think you get more distance out of holding the dash than mashing it, but I'm not sure. All I need to know is run, 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 and also, the best way to take out these things is to do jump slashes. Thankfully, this introductory area is pretty short, but yeah. I still died here a couple times my first playthrough, so don't feel bad if you do on your first. And once you're down here, you're done.
Zero! Thank goodness. You're alive. I'm sorry we got you involved in this. I await your return to the Resistance base.
So yeah, now that entire area up there is inaccessible. There's a new area open up that's very small and has a cyber elf in it, but I'll show that off next part. That's why I said you should get your level grinding done before that. Also, as you're going to notice here, I now have higher points than I did in the last mission. 0-1 is, I think, the only one in the entire series that doesn't average your points together. So it's very possible to go from like an F to an A in one mission, depending on how crappily you do.
We've analyzed the data you retrieved, but most of the data is damaged and is useless. The good news is that we can restore the information on your weapon. If you want to know about it, ask our engineer named Servo. I'm sorry this mission ended poorly, but we hope you will continue to help us.
And she means that we can go down the Servo and actually get a new weapon, because each Zero game, the exception of 4, 4 being the exception rather, has 4 weapons. And we can get the third now.
Zero, you came just in time. Look at this. It's a weapon called the Triple Rod. You can attack in any of the 8 directions. It requires some tick, but I'm sure you'll be able to handle it.
So let's check this thing out. I'm going to be grinding this thing off for levels in between parts. So yeah, that's a thing. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3 we'll be doing some more missions, and I'll also have my Triple Rod fully upgraded. See you guys then!